Good morning. It's Diane Murphy with Century 21 Woodland. Thank you so much for joining me again for coffee and a real estate market update. I sure hope you're enjoying this beautiful Saturday. It's really nice out there, isn't it? Officially spring. So the trend has continued. March has been another record-breaking month, which is pretty stunning in a series of record-breaking months. So March of this year, we just did $18 million worth of real estate transactions compared to March of last year, which was 6.8 million. So that is a crazy ratio. The March of 2021 was actually the single highest month we have ever had for real estate. The next closest one was August of last year at 17 million. So it was, again, a dramatic month for sure. The first quarter overall proved to be like that. So we had the first quarter of 2021, there was $38 million worth of real estate sold compared with the first quarter of last year, which was just $18 million. So again, a dramatic difference. Transactions are up in every single category. But the ratios are interesting. So last year, commercial real estate comprised, last year for the first quarter, commercial real estate comprised 3% of the transactions, and this year it was 7%. Last year, land was 17% of the total production volume, and this year it was 27%. And then last year, for the first quarter, residential real estate was 80% of the total production, but this year is only 66% of the total production. That, of course, is not because there's not interest. It's simply because there's not inventory. So as there is less residential inventory, of course, people are shifting and buying more land, and in some cases, even buying commercial property to find a way to get here and make that plan come true. So I got really great response last month after talking about things to do to help get your home ready to put on the market. We talked about doing maintenance and cleaning and minimizing decor and those sorts of things. And I'm really glad that you guys found that helpful. I got quite a few questions since then around home improvements and what home improvements are worth doing and how that factors into valuing your home and reselling it and all of that. So obviously, updated homes sell quicker, they sell at a higher price, and there's always more interest in that when people feel like they can come in and they don't necessarily have to do any updates on a home. However, if you're updating just to sell, then you really need to be very deliberate about what you're doing. Not every home improvement is going to get you a dollar for dollar return. And unless you're somebody, that has a whole lot of skills and can actually do an actual house flipping thing, I think you should be pretty selective about what improvements to do specifically for the point of selling. Obviously, do any home improvements at all that make you happy, because that's the reason for most of them. But because there's so much personal taste and lifestyle and priorities and things like that, they don't always translate dollar for dollar, from what you spent to how it might impact the price on your house. So the number one thing, of course, make sure all systems in your home are functioning. So before you think about home improvements in terms of amenities or updates and decor, really make sure all the systems are functioning. Your roof needs to be in good condition, your foundation needs to be sound, heat and air needs to be functioning, your siding, even things like stairs and decks and even appliances make sure all those are in good working order first. And obviously that's the first place to spend your money. Those things need to be in good working order, or your buyer is going to greatly discount the price of your house if they're the ones that have to address those things. So, or if they believe they'll have to be the one to address those things. So that will discount the value to them. That will be reflected in your offers and blah, blah, blah. So, but besides cleaning and maintenance and those basic, infrastructure things to make sure the house is sound, there are some other improvements that are investments that can pay off for you. So the first thing, of course, is adding square footage. So I don't know that it necessarily makes sense to start from scratch and do an addition simply for the point of reselling. I don't think you would get your money back off of that. But if you had an existing space that's currently unfinished that you could finish out into heated living space, that could be a worthwhile investment. So things like finishing out your basement, or closing in part of your deck to make a sunroom, or enclosing a carport to add a family room or another bedroom. Some of those things can pay off. Remember that the definition for square footage is it has to be heated, finished living space. So if your basement is accessible from your house and it has heat to it, but the walls aren't finished, there's not flooring, it's not actually finished, and it's not going to count as square footage. If your garage is heated and drywalled and finished, it's still not going to count as square footage because it's not living space. So just keep all of those things in mind. But there really are often opportunities to add that space, and that could be a valuable thing to do. Then the other things to keep in mind are just like refreshing spaces rather than doing total remodels on spaces. So I think the wins fall in small investment, but good quality in what you're doing. So paint is always a winner. For sure, making sure inside and out things are fresh and clean. Indoors, doing light neutral colors, maybe doing an accent wall, but like rooms that are like strong colors in a full room, that's not popular anymore. So neutralizing a room that like that, and maybe doing one wall as an accent wall, that could be a great thing to do. Removing wallpaper, I will say, is another investment that will pay off for you. People really view that as a big project, and because wallpaper is so personal, it's not necessarily going to be something that translates from you to the next buyer. People see that as a project, and if you can remove that as a project that they don't have to do, that is going to add value to your house. That's an affordable thing to do. Closets and storage make a difference. So if you are in a house that doesn't have great closets, or you have an opportunity to expand and make a walk-in closet, or install some closet systems to really demonstrate how usable your closet space is, I think those things are investments that pay off. People always need storage, and that's a thing that buyers will value. Freshening up kitchens and baths, for sure. So, real estate 101, they always say kitchens and baths sell homes. If you're doing a renovation simply for the point of reselling, it probably doesn't make sense in most cases to start over, to get the kitchen or the bath and start over. But it probably does make sense to do a refresh on them. So again, paint. Maybe you're painting the cabinets in addition to the walls. Maybe you are swapping out cabinet hardware, putting in new light fixtures, replacing the vanity in the bathroom, something like that. those things can make a difference for sure. Even changing out your plumbing fixtures can be valuable and kind of freshen up a space. If you are in a house that only has one bathroom, or in a house that does not currently have an ensuite to the main bedroom, creating a second bathroom or creating an ensuite in a space that doesn't have one, that could be an investment that pays off for you. Those are definitely things that a buyer would value, and I think you could get your money back in most cases on that. Curb appeal, always a big one for sure. Obviously, whether people are driving by or whether they are looking online, which of course they always are, the first thing they're going to see is the exterior of your home, and you want that to look inviting enough that they'll take the next step and make an appointment to come see the inside, or even just click through to see the interior photos. Because honestly, often if they don't like the exterior photo, they're not even going to get to see the interior photos. No matter how amazing your house is, they might not click through and see it. So really focus on the curb appeal, some basic landscaping, redoing your deck if that's a thing, making an inviting entry on your front porch, repainting your front door, sometimes replacing a garage door. Those things are really valuable to do. And then I think the other thing that really matters is really pay attention to the best features of your house and what you love most about it, because the odds are that that's also what your buyer is going to love most about it. And if there's an opportunity to refresh those features and really highlight them, I think that is an investment that is usually worthwhile. So if your house is all about your great kitchen, but your kitchen, is 20 years old, then you might want to do some updates in that kitchen. And then the buyers are also going to recognize what a great kitchen that is, and it's going to be a reason that they're going to be drawn to your house. If your house is all about the amazing deck, then really highlight that. Make sure that your deck looks as amazing as all your experiences on your deck have been. If it's all about the game room that you built in the basement, you might want to repaint that and sort of refresh things and really make sure that they have an opportunity to be like, yeah, that's the most amazing space in the house. Let's buy the house with the game room. Like, those things stand out to people. So anyway, that's my advice, is really focus on those things as well, the things that are the best features of your house, and see if there's a way to just sort of amp those up a little. As always, we are really happy to come in and help give you some suggestions and advice if you've got questions. We're also happy to help connect you with service providers. So whatever we can do, get a hold of us. We're there for you. In the meantime, whether you are doing home improvement projects or starting your garden or getting to spend some time with family or outdoors this weekend, really enjoy yourselves. Happy Saturday and happy Easter. I'll see y'all next month. Bye.